So before I hand it over to the demos, I want to take just a couple of minutes to say something about why the tools you're about to see exist. So the research you've seen thus far today depends on data being findable, accessible, and preserved over time, and that's not always the case. Right now, actually, there are conditions that are supporting that which are under real pressure. And for instance, there's no centralized index for geospatial data. To find what you need to first know what agency or entity holds it, then navigate to their platform directly, often assembling a combination of data sets from multiple disconnected sources. Add to that, when a data provider updates a data set, prior versions are typically overwritten and gone. And that makes longitudinal or comparative research really challenging. So, for example, in some research that we've done recently at BTAA-GIN, by 2023, approximately one-third of data sets across ArcGIS hub portals in 2019 had already been replaced or removed. So, and we also want to know that federal data sets are being withdrawn from public access, and that's creating permanent gaps in foundational research infrastructure. And our keynote speaker, Frank Donnelly, will address that directly this afternoon in his talk. So the two tools you're about to see are the Big Ten Library's response to two of these problems. The BTAA Geoportal addresses discoverability. It's a single open platform where more than 100,000 resources from over 200 different data providers are indexed and searchable by place type and time period. And the Data Citation Generator addresses a related gap. When geospatial data is consistently cited, it becomes part of the scholarly record. It's findable, referenceable by future researchers. And so data citation is how data stays visible and survives. So I want to hand it over now to GIN member Anna Rohl for a demonstration of our BTAA Geoportal.
Thank you, Colleen. Hello, everyone. I'm Anna Rohl. I'm map curator at University of Michigan Library, and today I'd like to introduce you to the Geoportal that Colleen just mentioned. The Geoportal is a one-stop shop to find data sets, web services, rasters, and digitize historical maps from across the collections of 15 different Big Ten institutions. The Geoportal includes over 116,000 images and data sets representing the best of Big Ten geospatial collections and beyond, and more are added every month. The mission of the Geoportal is to support the geospatial research community by making resources easier to find and to foster connections among geospatial library collections. So this could be the perfect place to find the data or the imagery you need for your next project. In just a moment, I'll share my screen and show you how to navigate the Geoportal. But if you have any questions as I present, feel free to put them in the Q&A and we'll answer them either there in the Q&A or live after I wrap up this presentation. So I'm going to show you the Geoportal now. You can navigate there either by clicking the link in chat or by going to geo.btaa.org. And once you're on the Geoportal, there are a number of ways to find the information you're looking for. You can search using the interactive map on the right side of the screen. You can create a keyword search using the search bar or the advanced search option to build a more specific search. And you can also take advantage of a number of filters displayed on the home page. You can filter by the type of data you're looking for, data, historical maps, raster imagery. You can filter by place or resource type. And if you use the place or resource type filters, note that this is just a sampling of the places and resource types available. You'll see a lot more if you click the More button at the bottom of the list. Now I'd like to show you a few sample searches to give you a taste of what kind of information is in the Geoportal. So for the first example, say I want to find a historic digitized map. I'm looking for one of my county, Washtenaw County, Michigan, and I'm particularly interested in plat maps or property data from the first half of the 1910s. Because I know that I want a digitized historical map, I'm going to take advantage of this maps filter right on the home page. When I click on it, I'll see a list of the results of all this digitized maps in the collection. And then I'm going to use the interactive search map here to kind of zoom out to cover my county. Right about here. Once I'm about in the right area, I can use the filters on the left side of the screen to further limit my search. In this case, I have a pretty specific date range that I'm looking for, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 1910 to 1915 and limit and see what comes up. This second result, Chadwick's 1911 map and directory of Washtenaw County, looks pretty great. It's got property information on it, and sometimes when you click on it, it'll take a second to load, and you can just refresh a few times, and the map will show up. So once it does, you'll be able to zoom way in on the map and read the details. You can zoom way out. If something has multiple pages, you'll be able to navigate through them here at the bottom. And I can download this image right from the GeoPortal if I want to have a copy myself. As I scroll down the page, you'll see a lot of information about the map, its metadata, right? The title, who made it, as well as what collection the physical map is actually held by. In this case, my collection at University of Michigan. I can use Visit Source link to view the map in its original digital collection. I can copy the citation if I decide I want to use this map in a paper or a presentation. And right at the bottom on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see this map has been georeferenced in all maps. I can click through, see it there, update the georeferencing if I don't think it's done well enough. Or if it hasn't been georeferenced yet, I can click there and take care of that in just a couple of clicks. Let's return to the home page, and I want to search for some data with you all. So let's build a keyword search. Say I'm looking for information on how Seattle manages its water systems. If I search Seattle and water, a lot of results are going to come up. This water services looks pretty promising to me. And when I click into it, I'm going to see something a little bit different than that digitized map. So a preview of this data is still available, and I can zoom in, I can zoom out. But you'll see this notice across the top of the screen. I have to visit the source link for download options. So this is kind of the magic of the GeoPortal. This information isn't hosted on the GeoPortal, it's just indexed so that you can find it all in one place. But to actually download this data, use it myself, I want to visit the source. In this case, the City of Seattle's GIS website. I can open it in ArcGIS Online directly from the page, and I could still copy a citation for this data if I choose to use it. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll see again the metadata for this set of data. A good description about what's included in it, when it was originally issued, and the last time it was updated, in this case, pretty recently. You'll also want to notice that this is classified as a web service. So a web service set of data, again, is indexed on the GeoPortal, but maybe isn't necessarily directly downloaded from the GeoPortal. But we do have data sets that you can get directly from us. So if I go back to my search results, and instead of typing Seattle water, type in Seattle transport, a different set of results will come up. And if I scroll down to look at the resource class filter, you'll see a lot of these results are web services, but a number are data sets. Let's filter by that. The results show us several historical data sets, particularly from Access Across America, from different years. And when I click on one, in this case, the 2018 data set, you'll notice that I can download the geo package directly from this page. I can still see all the metadata, a great description. I can visit the original source and view the documentation that went into creating this data set, but it is available right here from the GeoPortal. This has been just a taste of all the resources that you can find in the GeoPortal. GIN has a variety of guides and video tutorials to support your searching and using the GeoPortal that are available on the BTAA-GIN website if you need more help getting started, and we'll put those links in the chat in just a moment. Remember that new entries are being added to the GeoPortal all the time, with a particular push this year to work with the major cities in each of the Big Ten institution states to collect and preserve data made by and about the cities. We also have a refresh of how the GeoPortal looks that's coming later this year that's going to have even more helpful search options, so stay tuned for that. Explore the GeoPortal today and find the data, maps, and rasters you need all in one place. And now I'm going to check and see if we have any questions, and if not, we'll go back to Colleen. Let's see here. I think we don't have any questions, so I'm going to sign off.
Oh, did one just pop in?
Oh, is the GeoPortal entirely open or does it include licensed data? This is a good question. Mm, Rob, do you know the answer to that? If something is on the GeoPortal, you can access it. But a small amount of the data on there is licensed data. Nicole is typing an answer in the chat now. Like, for example, we index things like Social Explorer and Policy Map, which is licensed. And you'd need like institutional access probably to use. But keep an eye on Nicole's answer in the chat.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Anna. That was terrific. So we've shared also the URL. Please use it. Please tell your friends and colleagues about it. Because it's an important and really helpful resource. All right. So now we're going to move on. We have another GIN member, Amanda Tickner, who's the GIS librarian at Michigan State University. And she's made a recording that walks us through our new tool, the Data Citation Generator. So it generates properly formatted citations for geospatial data sets, and you can find it on our website. So if we can go ahead and roll that video, thank you.
Show you the Big Ten Academic Alliance Geospatial Information Network's new Geospatial Data Citation Generator. This tool was created in part as a response to a pilot study that demonstrated that people are using government data sets in research but not citing them in their publications. As geospatial specialists and educators, we often get requests for assistance from researchers trying to reproduce methods or find data sets from published articles that lack proper data citations. These experiences led us to create a tool to hopefully help people cite geospatial data more easily. There are several reasons to cite geospatial data. One is reproducibility. People publishing research need to make sure that that research is possibly reproducible. And that includes letting people know what data sets they've used in their research. It's also important for giving people credit. Data producers spend a lot of effort producing data and making it available to the public, and those folks need credit. It also, as a general academic practice, enhances the credibility of our research arguments and avoids misinformation. Additionally, publishers of data on ArcGIS Online or hubs could use this tool to create data citations to include in their data descriptions, as a lot of the geospatial data sharing platforms do not currently include citations as part of their metadata. So with that introduction, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this tool, which is in beta. So that is something to bear in mind. I'm going to use this data set from Natural Earth. Natural Earth is a nice source of free vector and raster map data. So here is very clearly the title of the data, which gives us our first entry. Our second entry is something I know because I downloaded the data set and looked at it. But we have lots of different options in here for different file format types. We tried to be comprehensive while not making an endless list. If you have suggestions for file formats that we should have included, we do have a feedback link. I'm going to be pointing to this frequently. That will let you give us a suggestion for a file format we should include. In this case, it's a shapefile. And I know the version is 5.0. And we can go back here and get the URL. Oops, here we go. There's the URL. Now here's a little interesting bit, author versus publisher. So oftentimes I'll see citations where people have credited Esri or ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Hubs as being the author of a data set, when that is the platform, that is the publisher, that is where the data is located. It is not who created the data. So it's important to keep these things disambiguated, and a lot of data citation tools don't, in my opinion, do a great job of that. So we hoped to kind of keep these things as separate as possible so that people don't get confused. And up here with author and creator, we did want to make it very clear that organization is a way of citing authorship, because a lot of data sets are published by organizations and not by people, as is this one. When I go over here to kind of look at how I might cite this, you can see here that it says loosely based on the work of Craig. That's great. I would kind of like more information about the author. So I went and I found Natural Earth's terms of use, and I found that for citing, they want you to just go with Natural Earth as the author. So then I can come back over here and I can say that the author is an organization, Natural Earth, and the publisher is actually the same in this case as the author. Year of publication, if I go back over here, I can see that this is when the entry was first posted, but that's not actually when it was published, because I've downloaded it and looked at the text with the download. I know that this was actually 2021 that it was created. I don't know the temporal coverage, and handily enough, temporal coverage in our tool here is optional for creating a citation. The date accessed is also optional, but some citation formats want that, and I think it can be helpful for people that are looking to find data that may have moved. So that is all of the fields that we need. Most of the fields are kind of necessary to build the citation, and so we don't label them as optional. And here is our output. This is APA style. We also have MLA. That looks slightly different. And Chicago looks different still. And Chicago does like to include access, so that's why we have that. That's a nice thing to have there. If you have suggestions for other data citation styles, you are welcome to give us that feedback. We are looking for suggestions about which other ones to include. So again, that feedback link is there to give feedback. So once we've got our output here, we can just do copy citation, and then we have that copied to wherever we want to put it. So that is our tool here, and hopefully that will help folks make better geospatial data citations. Thanks for listening.